other games. So people know how strong he is. I think going forward, no one's going to get him. We've seen too many times now when you just pair that up with the Nami, it's too disgusting.
Yeah, Gala played it, we're like, okay, it's off. We're done. Lucian's off the menu. No more Lucian for anyone.
Funny enough, Gala's the one who gets it. You know?
Yeah, I was like, what? But then, I don't know. Sometimes you got to test the limits, and then you realize why you don't do that. As Tryndamere and Jhin, interestingly, going to get picked up here. So already a different look at attacking this Gwen. We're going to see a lot of this, right? Gwen's going to be probably a very hot blind pick or first pick on the blue side. So teams are going to have all their different Gwen answers prepared.
So very interesting. Haven't seen a ton of Tryndamere this tournament thus far. Was very prevalent in spring, then kind of seems like he fell off the face of the earth with some of the nerfs that came through. Itemization changes as well. He was one of those people who was actually incredible at abusing Hullbreaker. It got nerfed and kind of like changed again. But StarScreen mostly played tanks and weak side for the Wildcats. He was 7 Gragas games, 4 Ornn games, 3 Malphite games. It was the Tryndamere was the one carry that he tended to get a lot of games on. He had 4 games of Tryndamere. So if he is going to be focused a little bit more, it's often going to be something like this.
Zeri also going to be back as well, which was an option potentially for HolyPhoenix, but has the Jhin here instead. Titan will happily take this alongside the Leona. And then obviously with all this AD, I'm kind of curious what's happening with mid and potentially jungle. There aren't that many AP junglers. We've seen Evelyn, we've seen Diana. You don't have to pick one for Ferret. Obviously, Serin can make
Nautilus.
Up for...
Give it to us.
Nautilus again? Aistar. You just want the stats to keep.
I just wanted to, you know, like, I just want to see him keep like, stay strong, believe in yourself, you know, like, who cares what people are saying? Nautilus here.
That's true.
Yeah, but not the case. Something a little tankier in lane. Also, the Zeri Leona does feel like something that could be abused. I wanted to see, like, maybe you go some sort of range support to try and harass the Zeri, who's taken a number of nerfs over time, gotten a lot weaker in the lane phase. Leona also does have kill threat, but otherwise doesn't have a way to answer a lot of range matchups. Instead, they go for the support, the engage with the Aistar. Makes sense, given that Ferret will probably want to go something a little bit scrappier. He does favor the carry champions quite a bit.
Well, Graves banned away, continuing to take junglers off the table. In fact, neither team has picked a jungler, so Diana going to get banned on the other side. Again, trying to keep potential AP picks out of the jungle. Sylas being banned screams that we want to pick Twisted Fate out of this space to me, but we'll see what the plan is for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I agree that it's kind of telegraphed. We'll see if Red picked this up. I think they were intelligent about picking up the Galio in the previous game, even though they ended up losing that one. You know, it was the right idea. The TF got through. Echo, interestingly. Maybe the thing is that with TF, it's not that much AP, and you want to stop them from finding other AP avenues, given that you already have Tryndamere and Jhin locked in. And so they're saying, if you take TF, fair enough, that's going to advance your game plan. But also, then you have almost no magic damage with the jungle pool pinched as it is, and with the Sylas gone and all these other things. So very interesting to see that. We'll have to see how they actually adapt that. It's the Viego getting locked in for Ferret, one of his most played champions.
Curious to see what Serin lines up here, though. Guess we'll find out in a moment. As we're going to have to finish off this draft. Looking for a jungler. Still plenty available here for Aegis.
Definitely felt like Red was in one of those positions where, like, you don't want to ban anything too important because, like, we might want that.
Yeah, clock is running down too. I don't know if it's a, like, pocket pick potentially for Serin, as Zoe's going to get picked up here for Grevthar. But, I mean, Echo is definitely a respectable ban, especially if Serin does have plays on the champion. What is the answer, though? Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? This would be a spicy one. Now, this is a Zoe counter. If you're really trying to put her in the dumpster, it takes a bit, but this is brutal if you can get ahead.
We'll have to see if
it's risky, though. I don't know if you want to play this. I don't think they do.
I think they will. Ow!
Baited! We both got baited!
So boring!
Come on, man! All
right, so it does answer a little bit about the push and pull that was going on between snowballing the Tryndamere with global pressure and, okay, we have too much physical damage. We need a magic threat. I think the decision to go more 4-1 oriented, combining it with the Victor, makes a lot of sense. It's a team comp that it's a little all over the place because Aistar and Viego both kind of need to go in. Jhin and Victor are very happy to sit back. You want to kind of go for zone control while Tryndamere split pushes.
Yep.
But I think the decision to go 4-1, given the concern about the damage spread, still makes sense to me. For Red, they just got strong champs. It's one of those, like, everyone's kind of good at everything. Gwen can team fight, Gwen can split. Zeri can run all over the map. She can also just team fight. You know, like, they just have a strong team comp with a lot of playmaking tools in it.
And it makes sense, right? Want some comfort here for both these teams because we said at the top of this segment, it is do or die for the Wildcats. But if you look closely and do a bit of math, both teams have the same scoreline. So it's do or die for both teams. If you lose here, you cannot make it to the Rumble stage.
Yeah, I believe 4 is a kind of magic number with 4 losses. I think you can also project a little bit ahead and say that RNG is going to keep winning. They're probably not going to stop at 3-3. So you're kind of hoping to most likely catch PSG will be the team at 3-3.
Yep.
So that's why you're expecting the 2 teams to get out of groups will need at least 3 wins. With 4 losses, you can't get there.
Yep. So it is a very important moment in the rivalry between these 2 teams. Not only do they want to keep the total international record close, because it is relatively close. 3 games is not a big lead, but you want to make sure that you continue your run through this tournament. You must win here to continue. It is going to be a long road regardless, but it'll be a real nice cherry on top of beating your longtime international rivals if you also get to keep playing for a potential berth into the Rumble stage.
Yeah, might be able to stay alive through the rest of the day.
Not going to be easy.
Not going to be easy, but the fact of the matter is there is not going to end this group today, despite this being the point of it with the situation that happened.
Yep.
Having to throw out some of those games for competitive integrity reasons, replay them. That means that this will probably be resolved, I believe, tomorrow, but we'll wait for official wording. And until then, you can stay alive for another day. Enjoy your time in Korea, scrim some more. More cowbell, baby.
You know what? If FarFetch is trying to reset after last game, this is actually beautiful.
That's how he's resetting.
Yeah.
I will say, there's not been a ton of level 1s. There has been a lot of kind of like rush somewhere with 5, and maybe they'll face check you, but there hasn't been a ton of like real, like we're hunting for kills. We got some tricks set up. And that is one of the things that maybe is partially Nautilus's underperformance, at least in North America. When teams locked in Nautilus, you knew they were going to do some shenanigans level 1 because the hook flash combination is just disgusting. You pretty much always go flash for flash on a mid laner, which then sets up a more volatile early game. And it feels like we have actually been relatively tepid in the first couple minutes of the game where people are not going for level 2 ganks even, you know, like the J4 red to mid kind of cheese that you see. It actually feels like teams have not prioritize that very highly, and I would have expected to see more, especially in this part where the teams' pools are so disparate.
Yep, that was one of my favorite level 1s from the tournament, just so we're clear. FarFetch making it happen with the emotes. Also, I believe Nautilus is responsible for the world record first blood time, the fastest first blood ever. I believe he's responsible.
I think that's one of the few world records we hold in North America.
That is one of the few North American legal
It's also nearly impossible to get shorter than, considering if people are unaware. It was a Nautilus blitz down mid lane with a flash hook. You have the home guard boots speeding you up there, instantly killing someone. It's very hard to get a faster one.
Yes. We'll hold that one.
Yep. I'll also say Nautilus is probably responsible for one of the bloodiest games. I believe it's the bloodiest game ever at international play. It was 24 kills in 17 minutes or 14 minutes?
14. 24 at 14.
24 kills at 14. I believe Nautilus was in that game.
We tend to snapshot games at 8 and 14 minutes these days because of the changes to objectives. Mainly Rift Herald. So we'll see. You know what? We could break it. There's still plenty of games left. There's more RNG games to play. Grevthar with a Prowler's quality picked up off the ground. A little bit of an evade here. Feels pretty bad for Ferret. And that bubble is just going to miss Ferret with a very nice little slide away.
A little scary there, but gets away. Nice control by Red. You have Zoe who gets the push early on, trying to combo that with their jungle control. Lee Sin staying aggressive. Might be a little deep, though.
Smite from Aegis, I believe. No, it was... Oh, now I'm confused. I think they both have 2 smite charges. I think Aegis got it. I saw some gold pop up, and if that is the case, it's bad news bears for Ferret, who's going to lose most of his camp to the Lee Sin.
Yeah, still gets a couple of the little guys on the way out, and nice move there by GUIGO. Getting the push on the top side, able to collapse there, make sure that was a safe invade. Now, Aegis gets to fall back. This is the entire clear done for Ferret, whereas Lee Sin can drop back, grab Scuttle Crab, grab his top side camps, and actually end up ahead of CS by the end of the clear, and then you'll also have your camps respawning. So a nice little path there by Aegis.
Cute bit of poke there from Titan as well. Looks like HolyPhoenix just trying to keep the wave in a decent spot. Aistar's laning when he's not all-inning you, not that fun, as it turns out.
I don't know, man. Standing there while minions die and building up your heal.
Very menacing.
Ideal gameplay. It's like I said, a different lane phase than I thought they were going to go. I was wondering with the Jhin into Zeri if that wanted to be more aggressive. Not the case, and so with the junglers showing on the top side, Titan and Jojo can play a little bit more aggressive, get that push in a little bit, but it's something that they have to be careful of because they didn't actually get the wave all the way in. So you see a good ward there in River to make sure that Ferret cannot get in there. Question mark ping going down right on top of him, spotting him out, knowing that they do need to be a little bit careful now that the first clears are done for the junglers.
Curious to see what happens in top side as well. We did see, of course, Jax in the last game as an option. Bin did really well in the lane early on, but I feel like it stabilized eventually, and then we just kind of had, you know, Jax and Gwen doing regular mid-game things. I think this matchup's probably going to be pretty similar. I don't think you're picking Tryndamere to like run over someone in a 1v1, but I think eventually the hope is that Tryndamere could outsplit push Gwen. Will that actually happen? I don't know, because Gwen's very powerful.
Yeah, Gwen feels like one of the picks that we'll have to see if she ends up on the ban list a little bit more as it continues to go. People are going to try a lot of answers. You're going to see a lot of like, let me outskill her, let me try this stuff. But one of the things that makes champions so good in pro play is how consistently they can do what they want to do. That the volatility of Gwen is actually not that high because of the things like her immune and always having a bit of zone control, kind of always having backline threat, even if things don't go great. Your items are a little expensive, but should you reach them, you're going to be relevant no matter what. You're also not bad hitting frontline even with just the true damage and stuff like that. Like she's just kind of like, everything's a target for her.
Very nice setup here for Grevthar. Nice gravity field placement, does get the stun. Aegis up here as well, though, looking for the Q, trying to find it. Serin trapped. Good flash, but he had to burn it there.
Yeah, had to burn the flash. That's continuing that kind of mid-jungle aggression that we were talking about. Zoe Lee Sin is secretly a very annoying mid-jungle 2v2. It's not quite LeBlanc Lee Sin levels or Arya Lee Sin where the setup's that easy, but you still have skill shots. You still have a lot of prio into control mages early for the Zoe to go out and start roaming around, landing sleeps through walls against junglers. It's more about abusing the map that you get from mid-priority more than like assassinating a mid laner over and over again.
Just like this. Once again, we invade the enemy Krugs. Jojo's here, Zoe's roaming up. FarFetch on the long wraparound, but Serin's basically trapped. Waves pushed in, can't safely move through the fog. So Reddy gonna have all this control. In fact, Gwen's even just straight pushing the tower. Took a plate there as well. There's gonna be no dive. Wildcats do fend that off, but great topside pressure there for Red, invading the enemy jungle nice and early.
Yeah, continuing this game plan of aggression in the jungle. Good decision not to try and dive StarScreen there. That would be a disaster given that he hit level 6 already. And you're just kind of wasting enemy time. This is one of the other advantages of this is it's allowing Zeri to scale up. It is one of the concerns that she has right now, being a little weak in the early game. But if you put all the pressure on the enemy jungler, he cannot make a gank happen. The lane itself, not super difficult. And by controlling Wildcats, Red is able to give themselves the ability to kind of scale up in both their lanes.
All right, catch here maybe for Ferret. Aegis, not that tanky. Jojo, they're going to lock one down. Q lands, Ferret flashes. But Aegis does not want to continue. Grevthar, though, roaming up. He has an ignite off the ground. They're going to go for it. He goes over the wall. Still asleep. And now the damage is coming through, and that is first blood for the Red Canids.
There you go.
The blue as well.
Oh, it makes it feel even worse. Grevthar and Aegis comboing together, popping off, controlling both sides of the jungle, stealing the blue away, finding first blood, forcing flashes. This is the mid-jungle show right now.
And there's level 6 as well for the Lee Sin off the back of the blue and the Grump that he took away from Ferret's jungle as well. Again, you said already, Mark, it is not so much about the lane setup, it is about the jungle setup.
Yeah, here you'll see again, just a little bit unsafe with the path there, thinking that he can get to the blast cone and be safe, but FarFetch gets stunned up right before then. Not 6 yet, actually relatively squishy. They finish him off. Now you can start picking up flashes. Grevthar able to grab that one. No one else to actually kill with it, but it's always the best part about playing Zoe at the end of a fight when there's like 6 flashes on the ground. Just start spamming them.
Feels good. You know what? Just press the button. Makes you faster. Feels fun, even if you don't get any kills.
That's probably one of the secretly strongest parts about...
Oh, Spell Thief? Yeah.
Yeah, well, the randomness of the things, oh, that's all fun, but just the move speed that you get in lane phase is actually really important for making her feel so safe and hard to gank, because if you start showing to make a move on her, if you're not instantly on top of her, she can easily just pop one of her summoners and get away very easily.
Yep. Or one of your summoners, depending on...
Yeah, depending on a random one she picked up.
Yeah, like this
XD so random.
Ferret, gonna get bubbled? Yeah, beautiful. Asleep we go. This looks like a kill on my screen. To see to land the Q, it's so easy. No execute even needed for Aegis.
Man, Grevthar does not have a kill yet, but he is the star of the show for me. He's looking real good on this Zoe. Comboing with Aegis as well. I mean, this is just what probably feels like a really good game to them after coming off that RNG loss where it started kind of close before ending with a dancing Shelly. That's got to feel bad. So to mentally reset and instantly start controlling the Wildcats thus far is very impressive. And I think speaks to the win that they had over PSG not being a fluke.
Yes.
That was nearly a perfect game. It was a kill-less, or deathless game, I should say. A no-hitter of some sense. But the fact that it was not just like, oh, PSG didn't show up. I think that's what the story became after they lost to the Wildcats before. But now they're showing it's not a fluke.
Very nice. Look who's coming, by the way. Lee Sin is beelining to the top half of the rift. StarScreen knows. He's like, I'm going as far back as possible. And unfortunately, that means that it's just free time for the plates here for the Gwen.
Yeah,
and there's the Rift Herald.
Not given any time to scale up for the Tryndamere, and a number of nerfs that came through recently, making it a little bit more difficult. You actually have to put points in your ultimate if you want that ability back up. So getting it forced here is a big deal. They changed the cooldowns. Before, it was a 1.1 durability. You threw one in and continue to max your actual damage in your utility one, as well as the fact that the cooldown reduction that you get from your spinning slash coming back up faster was changed from 1 second to 0.75. So a number of nerfs pushed Tryndamere out of the meta, and looks like he's struggling right now.
Yeah, loses the tower there off the back of that Herald drop. Gwen picks up all the plates in that little exchange. So really nice pressure. Doesn't get the kill, but converts for the tower in the first tower gold. At that, it is almost, it's approaching 4,000 gold ahead for the Red Canids, which is a very impressive early game. To your point, I agree. Not only bouncing back, but after they win versus PSG, it was like, okay, Red Canids are there. They might be the second best team in the group. And they lost to this team. Wildcats had a great looking game up against Red Canids. So has to feel good to have a nice advantage here.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about, you know, there's still an outside chance that you can find your way in there. It's not going to be easy, but if you can claw up to 3-3, you get a rematch versus PSG. Maybe you can make it happen. We'll have to see. They do make some big mistakes, I think, is the concern for Red, where they have clean early games. They seem to have a good grasp of what their comp's going to do and how to execute it and these kinds of things, and then some fight doesn't go their way. I think that's what PSG was able to show. I think it was against them earlier today when they evened out the head-to-head. It was close, it was back and forth, and then it was like this insane team fight from PSG at a Dragon, and that's where we've seen the biggest discrepancy is, here's how we're going to vision control and actually pincer or flank or set up your team fights.
All right, well, if we can keep isolated skirmishes, keep the Zoe Lee Sin stapled together, keep the Gwen rolling, it's going to feel good. Working out so far here as Jojo is looking to investigate perhaps this Dragon. It's been very lonely for the poor Hex Dragon.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Red not try to grab that. Zoe has had the push for a portion of this game. You would have expected it. So it's going to go over free to Wildcats. Not the end of the world, just a single Dragon for Red. Obviously, they don't have too much priority on it, but it seemed like there might have been a window or two to grab it, but they're much more focused on snowballing GUIGO and controlling the Viego.
Still battling here, but StarScreen just going to flick away as we'll take a look at the bottom side. It hasn't been a lot about it in this particular game, but this is our Mercedes-Benz feature matchup. And this is the big one, right? HolyPhoenix is just getting bullied as far as things go, as Gwen is getting aggressive there. StarScreen in trouble, has to burn the ulti. Is it going to run out in time? We'll find out in just a moment. He's going to go down. The Ignite should be good enough. And that is going to be it.
We go with the solo kill. Hold on, FarFetch, make it play the bot side.
All right, trouble in paradise here in the bottom half of the rift is Wildcats trying to make something happen, but the stun lands in. Beautiful steal for Aegis, gets his third kill, and that Chitan is starting to pop off. It was ignored in the early stages, but Zeri always finds a way in the fights.
Perfect timing to bring up that feature matchup. Chitan getting involved with the rest of the team now. FarFetch.
Oh no, feels bad, man. Aegis make it 4 on the day. Only 1 assist. It's bloodthirsty Lee Sin today.
Yeah, it's still the mid-jungle 2v2 popping off, but other people getting involved now. The solo kill on the top side. Chitan with nice flash in there, getting that damage thrown down. Kind of chunking out HolyPhoenix before that fight too. HolyPhoenix, it feels like, gets so much attention sometimes, just never given the opportunity to get off the ground.
He's a great Jhin player.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to funnel gold into an AD and have them carry mid to late, Jhin is not that pick, right?
No.
And it's just all this attention in draft that he receives. He's like, I guess I played this good champion, but I'm in trouble. There's a level 9 Lee Sin trying to execute me, and he's going to be successful. FarFetch can't find the defense. Aegis popping off.
Man, he's feeling himself camping between turrets instead of recalling, waiting for the Lee Sin, or excuse me, the Jhin to come back. That is straight up solo queue treatment. I think everyone who's jungled and has done this one before, where you just wait for the laner to walk back through lane in between 2 turrets, you kill him again, you tilt the hell out of him, you throw some emotes in his face, you go back to counter jungling.
Ooh, 1v2 brewing. Jojo roaming up. Grevthar here as well. FarFetch with the interference. Serin going to try and collect his potential kill. Grevthar going to have to run away. Does not have flash, but Aegis is going to make it a big problem. Ulti not enough for the Alistar. Make it one more as Grevthar picks it up, and Aegis was still going. Missing the resonating strike onto Serin as we do have a kill again. Gwen takes down Trend.
Gwen popping off the 2v1. Finds the kill. That is one of the areas where that nerf comes in. It was a 90 seconds to 130 second cooldown. StarScreen just barely didn't have his ultimate up there that actually scrapped that one out. Ends up going down.
Great bubble. If he had died somehow from that angle, I think it's like your mouse and keyboard is doomed.
95% of the last 2 minutes in the death chamber.
Yeah.
Something insane.
Bad Time Island.
I mean, the entire game is Bad Time Island for Wildcats. This is looking pretty rough.
I mean, 9,000 gold ahead or so at 15 minutes is a pretty ridiculous early game. I don't have all the numbers for, what's the most one-sided game we've had gold-wise, but this is going to be up there, I have to think.
Yeah, you'll see it again. Just staying in the Shroud. The important part about that, too, is it does give actual resist while you're in there, too. So it does make it very easy, or easier to sit in there and scrap things out. Ferret just not able to get any damage, and then here's the ultimate not quite up. Hold on.
Don't have time. Aegis is trying to kill people again alongside Grevthar here, 2v2. Level 8 Viego, Grevthar portal jump, works away around a beautiful sleep onto Serin. They're so good, the 2v2. It's been domination from the Red Canids as Grevthar takes out Ferret again.
Ferret just can't find the kill. He flashed back in, but just barely staying alive. Oh my god, that 2v2 was clean. Aegis breaking some ankles. Looks like he's going in, baits out the field to try and get the stun, but then he goes back out. That's where the ultimate gets dropped, and then he goes back in. StarScreen.
I saw him start it, and I was like, I like the attempt, right? But it's not even going to get that. Sniffed out there by the Red Canids, and it could be another 1v1 kill. Grevthar, looking for HolyPhoenix, finds it there with the Loot and Zeri combo, and it's another kill onto StarScreen.
This is getting brutal, Pastry.
Yeah.
I don't know if we got to turn this off. NC 17 rating coming in. This is painful to watch. Wildcats getting brutalized all over the map, every lane, deaths across the board.
Come on, man!
Kill him.
Come on, man!
Do it.
Gale for Zoe! It's so gross! It's so gross!
Grevthar finds another. Oh my god, just Wildcats catching L's across the board. The only thing, again, saving this from a perfect game is the one dragon that they have been able to get.
And the second Herald's going to go over. I saw Chitan's player cam, by the way. He has a very big smile on his face.
This is a game that's hard. Like, I dare you not to smile playing this game.
Yeah.
I dare you to look upset as you're crushing your regional, or your inter-regional rivals, I should say. Just such an easy chase down sequence here. At this point, just caught out in the river. Gwen, not a ton of CC, but enough slows to make that happen. Obviously, Wildcats are just losing track of members on the map. No idea that Zoe's going to be there on the side of the wall. Grevthar finds that easy pick-off, and then Ferret here just, at this point, it's like, you're just tilted. Like, why are you underneath that turret? You can't stop it from dropping. There's literally no play for you to make there, but you also can't go to any camps. So it's like, just stay in your base. And so I can understand why that feels bad. I don't want to flame Ferret, but also you got to just stop making these kind of mistakes. The game is definitely away from them. Remember that tweet with Licorice where it's like, this is what a major region versus a minor region is supposed to look like, huh? Weirdly enough, it applies to this game. Like, that's how good Red looks right now. Like, this looks like Pool 1 seed RNG going up against anyone else in the tournament. You know, it's crazy how dominant they are right now.
Yeah, nameplates up, you would struggle to name these teams, I think, if we didn't have them right on your screen. And Red Canids are going off as FarFetch, trying to make it happen, but the level 8 Ally, even with the ulti, just cannot survive. Aegis godlike in this game. Leona barely whipping onto StarScreen, but Grevthar still going! How does he land the bubble every time? StarScreen going to be forced to burn the ulti. Aegis is still going in. He gives 1,000 gold to the enemy Tryndamere, and he just doesn't care.
Rides the Tryndamere in for the Lee Sin kick, does drop for it. Kind of baits his team into getting a little bit low. Kind of gives the only kill of the game over. Big shutdown, like you said.
And does he care? No. Should he care?
No. Why should you care? That was sick. You take the Q onto the Tryndamere to get the flash kick onto the enemy carry. I mean, it feels good. He feels bad. That's all that matters. Ignore the gold.
14 Magi stacks is off for Grevthar, so there is strategic advantages.
Yeah, he's funneling.
Just sending it, exactly.
The Zoe helped the Lee Sin get this fed, and now he's returning the favor. It's called teamwork.
That's
Pastry.
Oh,
Look it up.
beautiful teamwork from the Red Canids this game. And it has, honestly, jokes aside, really been this mid jungle that's opened up this game. Such a beautiful game of plays from these two as we watch this one again. I mean, look, level 8 alley with ulti? Nah, you're not gonna live.
I mean, there's just also no way that this play works. They were cut off in the choke point, the damage dealer, so it was going to be a 2v2 or 2v4, I guess, of StarScreen and Alistar. So it's never going to work there, even if the combo did work. And that's just going to lead to a bit of a chase down here. Aegis riding that in to get behind Serin for the kickback. Ends up getting dropped, but, you know, you'll take them. Get some assists for your team, get some stacks, get some more gold. And he knows. He's like, oh, am I going to be the only death this game, man? Is this going to be me? It's all right, man. You had a great game. Yeah. You've been super clean. Shrug it off. Don't worry. Trinity got 1,000 gold. It's gonna be fine. If Trinity if died before waking up, by the way, would have had a chance to ulti. Unfortunately, Lee Sin Q didn't do quite enough damage, despite how fed Aegis is. But, you know, we'll be fine. We got a dragon for Red Canids. We have more face checking. Chitan's just over the top, pops the ulti, ready to go. Jojo gonna go down as well. The kills are coming forward. Possessed Leona's pretty good. Ferret's going for it. He knows that he has to find the angle. Chitan low, but not dead. And here comes Gwen. Not too bad, actually, for Wildcats, though. The face check, I think Red thought that they could just kill them, but StarScreen did a great job focusing Chitan down and forcing him out of the fight while he doesn't kill him. Does force the flash out as well as a retreat. GUIGO, though, is still terrifying.
You're just going for it. You just walked through Victor W. Oh, Hex Flash. Hello, FarFetch. Aegis like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm trying to give you to the enemy team again. Once again, the StarScreen bubble's going to miss. Good spin around, but it doesn't matter. StarScreen, no ulti. And that play, ill-advised, goes the way of the Red Canids. As more face checking is happening, Gwen is immune. Oh, goodness. He really going to get out of this? Body block here for Aegis. The last bullet's not going to quite curve around.
Oh, my God.
And Gwen gets away.
Gwen is a great... Oh, there we go! Yes!
Let's go! Let's go, HolyPhoenix!
Gwen is immune. That work?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I don't know what immune, like immune, but I am sounds like a, you know.
So I know you can be overwhelmed.
Right.
And I know you can be underwhelmed.
So
but can you ever just be whelmed?
I actually looked that up.
I think you can in Europe.
Whelmed is actually a word.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It's actually very similar to overwhelmed. Anytime that you're whelmed, you're also kind of overwhelmed.
But it's not quite as intense.
It's not quite as intense, but like if you could be whelmed at work.
So if the gold lead was 50% in this game,
yeah,
it'd be a whelming gold lead instead of an overwhelming gold lead. Because right now it's an overwhelming gold lead.
This is an overwhelming gold lead.
And I think to your point, I think you can be mute. HolyPhoenix with the kill there does get some gold back. Again, anything they can grab is good for them, but you have to think Red Canids are going to start cleaning it up a little bit.
I mean, I will say that little pick that they got into Gwen, even if they didn't kill her, that stopped the bit. I thought for sure that was, oh, those two are dead. Now it's going to be time for Baron. That little heads-up play there by them, finding the pick onto Gwen, was pretty big for stemming the bleeding. I'm not going to say that there's Wildcats have a chance of getting back in this game because it's like a 99.99% chance that they're out with an 11,000 gold lead for Red. But that was a good play.
Twas. But Red are going to finally get themselves onto the Baron. It is an impossible choice for the Wildcats, but one they must make, especially face-checking Zoe and Fog is like...
Feels bad, man.
It feels really bad, man. And look at Grevthar, again, running a bit of interference, trying to be defensive. StarScreen with a decent flank, actually. Aistar going to go to bed, but Chitan with the wraparound flank, able to just hold two on the Baron. Grevthar trying to find the angle. StarScreen pop the ult a little bit early. Chitan rides away to safety. Serin, though, does take out Jojo, so Ferret's going to get a possession. And Red a little low, actually.
Yeah, again, StarScreen on the Tryndamere, despite not finding a kill there, kept 2 to 3 members busy. GUIGO needed Aegis to sit on top of him, provide some shields, threaten to kick out and stuff like that to make sure that Gwen didn't die. And during that time, that means, again, when Chitan goes in, there's no one else helping him. He almost always 80% someone right away, and there's no one to kind of push that damage over the edge. So while he doesn't end up dying, it does lead to this kind of split fight, while also having the Baron aggroed on top of them that leads to Wildcats first off, stopping the Baron, finding a kill, and finding their first turd of the game with a fat objective bounty shutdown. It's now under 10K.
Yep. That's good. Positive direction, positive movement here.
Yeah,
for the Wildcats.
Look again, Jojo and Chitan are like, let's blow up HolyPhoenix, but Leona didn't actually get any of the CC or damage to kind of 100 to 0 him, and then during that time that allows a turn for the Wildcats to find Jojo, and then you see StarScreen again, even though he's not killing anyone, in a lot of these situations, he's doing good work. He's putting threat down, despite being super far behind.
Ooh, Flash is a little bit bit short for Serin, and that should be enough for the dive. Aegis actually straight up solo killed right there. Managed to find the enemy mid laner as the jungler.
Able to dodge out on HolyPhoenix's route as well. Might have led to a situation where they could have got CC'd up. And I think this is funny by Red. They're like, why are we going to Baron?
Yeah.
We can just keep taking turrets. There's other turrets up. StarScreen during this time recognizes, hey, I'm just going to split push.
And here comes Gwen once again. Ferret's going to be forced away, but this inhibitor tower is going to be broken. The inhib should follow shortly. Jhin already working on the midsection of the map, as the Wildcats are going to lose a lot here. 2 inhibs, most likely 1 already dead. Gonna have to fight. FarFetch looking to try and start things off here, but don't have the mid laner for 2 seconds. I'm gonna get them back, and the mid inhib is gonna be alive. Jhin wants to finish it off. I like this play, extending for a little bit there to make sure it happens, and Red do successfully take both.
Red grabbed 2 inhibitors, gonna back off now. Doesn't look like the Wildcats want to let them go safely, but it's kind of hard to make a play happen. And with the 2 inhibitors down now, it's probably going to be the easy Baron time. Grab this dragon as well before you do your full reset. And then off of that, be able to grab the Baron. Going a little clean and clinical now. They, I think, understandably, were like, all right, we made a couple mistakes. Let's make sure we actually pull this one out cleanly.
I think also just taking this gold away from the Wildcats is good, right? That's 5 minutes where they can't get the objective bounty potentially off that dragon. Don't want to give any extra gold over. At this point, we are not getting to Soul if Red Canids are going to win this game, most likely. So they're just happy to take the gold away. They'll take a little bit of the buff from the ocean, but it is more about taking it off the map so that you can fully focus on finishing this game, getting the Baron, pressuring the top side, and then closing it out nice and cleanly.
Yeah, well, I like that Wildcats aren't going quietly, though. Sneaking into the bot lane, hoping someone shows up there. Serin, as a Viktor, not the best assist tool, given that there's no hard lockdown CC right away should someone face check them, but can jump out the damage with the Tryndamere and try and blow somebody up.
StarScreen continuing to get gold. We'll get more here again. Plenty of bounties to collect. There's a bit of extra gold there as StarScreen claims that one. But deep vision now being set up for Red, and this is nice. I like starting the Baron with only 2. There is warded. They are going to turn the ward off now, though. But I don't know if Wildcats can even do anything, is the problem. Like, you know what they're doing, but I don't think you can really safely face check as Ferret's trying to find a little bit of a wraparound there in the mist.
Yeah, they're starting to go, though.
There's a slow. Ferret gonna have to buffer out of there with the ulti. Jojo flashing out of the way. Serin, solo kill by the enemy ADs. Jojo's there. Finds his teammates, so with the Zenith play back on the FarFetch, and Red have found 2 kills already, and they may not need the Baron to finish off this game.
Yeah, Jhin just ganked Serin somewhere off screen, found that solo kill. FarFetch as well, trying to go in and think that the Leona's alone. It is true, but it's not that hard for the Red members to turn off the Baron. So Gwen, Lee in, over the wall, get those kills. Now going to grab their 3rd inhibitor and can probably just sit on them and end the game. Take this without ever actually getting the Baron buff on their side in this victory.
Aegis again looking. Doesn't quite find the angle, but plenty of damage deals onto the tower. HolyPhoenix popping the ulti. Grevthar's like, that looks like a sweep angle to me. Barely going to find the sleep on the other side, but HolyPhoenix going to cleanse out safely. StarScreen tag does have ulti. Back to the fountain he goes. As the second Nexus tower is going to go down, but Istanbul Wildcats going to keep on fighting. 4-man pole there to FarFetch. Damage shot there by Serin, but Jhin's on a rampage. Gwen's going to start frontlining. Ferret's going to get a reset, but I'm not sure it matters. Maybe, though, the Wildcats can keep their game alive for a little bit longer. 2 kills now for the Viego. Now the Gwen's on the enemy team. As Ferret is going to die to Grevthar at the end of it all. And the Red Canids are going to keep their tournament hopes alive as the Wildcats are fighting to stay in this game. But I think the clock has finally counted down to 0. The Wildcats are going to move away. Jhin's going to stylishly flip over the enemy Nexus and finish it up once and for all. No! HolyPhoenix! I mean, it's a 2v1. He just can't do anything.
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a defense here. The minions stopping the double super creeps from getting on top of the next. I thought for sure the minions were just going to end the game.
Yeah.
They might still do it. There's a teleport up for Grevthar.
Look at him go.
20. He might just try and sit on top of them. Forces the alley ult.
Gotta navigate. Jhin stun. Not that tanky for the lead. Does have a stopwatch, but doesn't want to burn it here. And the minions, oh goodness, they're doing it. The minions, all right, they've been stopped. Aegis is like, wait a second. If they're there, I can keep going.
Leona's running up from mid. The teleport for Grevthar up now.
Okay.
It's tempting. I know it is, guys.
Okay. Wildcats hold. A tough hold. Supers everywhere. Triple inhibs. I mean, they're playing Horde mode. Like, this is different League of Legends.
It's a turret defense game now.
Yeah. It's balloons. We've gone all the way there.
Oh, it feels like one of those old used map settings, you know? when you're playing like where League of Legends came from with Dota and all that. Those.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, all right, just make sure that the turret doesn't fall.
Don't have much gold to put up defenses though, but they are going to try and stop Red. Baron's still an option, of course, here. The Wildcats will be contained to their base, but Red aren't interested in that objective. They just want to win one last fight here. That's all they need. Hex Flash looking, finds him just barely on the edge of the pole. And now Gwen in trouble, pops the W. That's so much damage though, but the Lee Sin finds HolyPhoenix in the midst of the team fight. And that is going to be all she wrote. 2 kills for Aegis, 3 kills in fact. And that pole is going to spell the end. It looks pretty, but it was not enough at the end of the day as the Red Canids will keep themselves in MSI.
Red Canids are alive off the back of that one and look incredible doing it. Super clean through the first 20 minutes of the game. A couple little slip-ups around the Baron, but then they say, you know what? Forget that. We're just going to end through inhibitors and minion pressure. They go ahead and do that. And they are still fighting, still dreaming, still alive.
And we'll still see the Wildcats, of course, but their ability to qualify for the Rumble stage, unfortunately, is now not a thing with the win here. As Brazil get the scoreline a little bit closer to even all time for these two rivals.
Yeah, should be another game versus RNG available. Potentially, you're looking at some insane world where they can play upset. So for Wildcats, they're not done yet. Still have some work to do. A very disappointing game, I think, for them. Not just losing, but losing in that fashion, kind of getting styled on as it was going on. They did go out on their terms, picking that last fight, trying to blow up the Gwen. Almost happened, but the immunity stopping Viktor damage was kind of the big thing.
And of course, like the goal difference, still at that point of the game, like we got later.
It was trending down.
Yes, but still very big as far as overall difference goes. Not enough time to really push it to a point where that game was going to feel close as far as gold goes. So a tough loss for sure for the Wildcats. We'll see them again as the Red Canids still in it. And again, the games they've won look, I mean, honestly, even some of their losses, like when they win big.
Yeah, they have a really good early game. Unironically, no matter who they're playing against, their early game looks decent. You saw they were forcing RNG to respect them and not just take their fights at Rift Heralds or whatnot. Against PSG earlier in the day, while they did lose that one, as we see Jhin throwing out a little bit of some vibes from Evie a little bit, you know,
smize
playing to the camera
as the mask on, kind of like, you know, can't show the big grin that I'm sure is under that mask.
Yeah,
he was having a great time, and honestly, like despite the matchup we thought was going to be the big influence in this game, right? Jhin versus HolyPhoenix. Jhin was just vibing. They
banned out HolyPhoenix. They both like kind of were like, we're going to scale and play for team, and then they just watched as their teams got massive leads for Jhin.
All right, well with that, Red Canids stay alive at MSI 2020.